Now we have to speak about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. He's been stripped of his last remaining title. The fallout continues, Andrew. What can you tell us?
Well, I can tell you we predicted it here on your very show. I did say there was one title he was left with, and I did tell you that by the time we next spoke, he would have that title stripped away from him. And what it is, it's the title tumble, isn't it? Andrew's ultimate uniform demotion. It's devastating the dynasty. What's happening is military mayhem. He's been stripped of the last remaining military title, and it's the Ministry of Defence who confirmed that the former prince, he no longer holds the honorary title of Vice Admiral and has been reduced to the rank of Commander, retired Royal Navy. The spokesman for the Ministry of Defence, they said, following formal consideration, the Defence Council have agreed their immediate reversion from the rank of Vice Admiral to the rank of Commander, retired Royal Navy, and it be basically held on retirement from regular Royal Naval services. The decision aligns with the processes already to remove other styles and so on and so forth. This obviously follows in 2022 the removal of his military titles and patronages by Queen Elizabeth after the settlement with Virginia Giuffre. And what's going to happen is exactly that sort of side. He's falling deeper and deeper into disgrace. He served as a Navy Royal pilot during the Falklands conflicts, and he was made Vice Admiral, just to remind everybody, on his 55th birthday in 2015. But that the final title has indeed tumbled.
And Andrew's also reportedly moved out of his property and into a temporary property at the royal family's Sandringham estate. So this temporary property is reportedly a downgrade from his current mansion, and sources say that he will eventually move into a more substantial home. But talk to us about this.
Well, it's not just a downgrade. They say it's moving from a palace to a shoebox, is what he said. It's tiny. It's got the boot, basically. It's the lodge lockout. And what's happened, it's the final Sandringham squeeze. The disgraced Duke has been downsized in this dramatic demotion. He was previously rattling around in this wonderful 30-room royal lodge, which I've spoken about many, many times. And we predicted where he's going to disappear to. I did say probably the big move's going to be after Christmas, so he doesn't embarrass anybody, although it's a bit late for all of that. But he's basically going to be going probably up to Sandringham. Whilst he's trying to get there, there's this tiny shoebox of a place. I'm sure his shoebox is a bit different to our shoeboxes, but that's what's going to happen as a result of it. There has been talk, as I talked again with you about, him possibly moving to Bahrain due to business ties there, and he's apparently expressed desires, I can exclusively reveal, to move into Prince Philip's previous retirement property, which was Wood Farm. So do look out for that in the new year if that's actually discussed. But the people are a bit concerned, the family's a little bit concerned that if he is there, that might be a little close to the rest of them.
Okay, and what about Prince William and Princess Catherine's move to Forest Lodge? Because there are reports that locals are expressing backlash over this ring of steel around their new home, expressing that they feel unwelcome on their own turf. Talk to us about this.
Well, it is tears and turmoil, isn't it? We talked about this last time, as they've moved into this forever home, which all sounds very good in principle, but it is Windsor woes, and the security siege sparks sorrow and shutouts, is what they've sort of said. What's happened is the park needs to have extra protection now that they're going to be moving to this £16 million Forest Lodge in Windsor Great Park. It's surrounded by vast grounds, but they do need what, as you say, is called the Ring of Steel, which is a security zone under what's called the Serious Organised Crime and Police Act. And what's happened is the 150 acres of previously public land, which did include walking paths and dogs that used to be walked there and exercised every single day. It also has an environmental education centre, and also people have been evicted. So all of those are now closing down and being shut off. And locals are basically talking about grief as a result of this sort of loss of access. And it's the Home Office over here. They've imposed this 2.3 mile personal exclusion area, and it's understood that anybody who's caught trespassing will be arrested. Now, that's not going to be very good for community spirits, but it's all about that sort of protection. William is fiercely protective of his privacy. He's always spoken about that in the light of what happened with Princess Diana. And he used to say that if you let that creep in, the loss of privacy, the damage can do to your family life is something that I vowed I would never happen to my family. So that's what's happening. That is that turmoil. There'll be more of that in the new year as well.
Now, Meghan Markle, she is reportedly willing to return to the UK to repair royal relationships, but under certain conditions. Talk to us about this, Andrew. What's being said?
Ah, the Sussex shock return of the madness from Montecito. There we go. It's all going to have a look at that sort of stuff. What's happening is that this is the right price. She might come back, and we've been begging for her to come back, haven't we? What it basically means is mending ties with King Charles and resolving Prince Harry's security issues. And there was a bit of light shot on that, which I spoke to you about last week. Princess Catherine, who everybody loves and adores over here, would reportedly approach any such potential return with caution, surprise, surprise, but she would support it in lines with what King Charles would like. And basically, this is what Harry said, and it was lovely to get that moment, even if it was like a 50-minute meeting with Charles. Harry's made it very clear he wants to get closer to his father, especially with his cancer diagnosis and so on and so forth. And this is a good stage. But what they're saying is if it comes with a Netflix package, if you've got your film crew in tow, they might even suffer that as well, as long as it works on that sort of basis. But it is about that security. It is about making sure that she gets that sort of respect and respect for all people in that conversation.
And yet, royal experts say that the royal family will be staying right away from Meghan if she continues using her royal title for her business. And this is something that I think shocks so many of us, that she cut ties with the royal family, yet she keeps using this royal title as she sells jams.
The spam jam, absolutely, scam jam, not even proper jam. It's the title taint, isn't it? Meghan's commercial clash. It keeps the can cold, is what they say. Keep that clan cold. And she's basically, this is what's happened. They're likely to keep the distance as long as she keeps using the Duchess of Sussex title for commercial ventures, like her Netflix glorious show, which I've watched every episode for you. We love Meghan. She quit royal life in 2020, and they've set out trying to make their own money, but they're often using their titles in order to do it, because without that, not a lot of people would be interested. Other members of the royal family, they don't really like that. And even though she left royal duties in 2020, the very fact they're still keeping their titles and using them, they're entitled to keep them, but it's the use of them which happens, because the late Queen Elizabeth II, gave the titles to them on their 2018 wedding day. And whilst their titles could be removed in the same way as the former Prince Andrew, it's extremely unlikely that will happen. They probably will be in 2026. I do predict there will be more visits over here, and they're certainly trying to build those bridges. But part of those building of the bridges will make sure they're not commercialising the royal family and the various titles bestowed upon them.
We love those predictions. Your predictions right here on Power Hour. Finally, Christmas time, the most wonderful time of the year. Talk to us about the traditions and where all the royal families spend Christmas. Of course, Europe's various royal families have begun rolling out these traditions. We're not too far away now, but despite many staying at their main royal residence, some royal families are going elsewhere. Where are they going?
Well, I can tell you, it's a wonderful Royal Ritz's retreats revealed in revelry. Christmas Castle Confidential. This will be the special things. And when the royal families jingle, they jingle all the way. I can tell you that. So we talk about the British family. I've spoken about this. Everybody knows that they do. They've just had the annual Carol concert, which was organised beautifully by Princess Catherine. They're going to be celebrating Christmas in the private residence at Sandringham. And every year they get there. I talked about some of the traditions. They arrive in order of seniority. That's so that the king isn't kept waiting. They get weighed before and after dinner just to make sure they've enjoyed that sort of stuff. They open gifts on Christmas Eve, and I told you they have these most extraordinary gifts, including things like this. Here we go. They get the tachia. I know you wanted a set of these. Act surprised on Christmas Day when you get them, okay?
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
But that's the reality. So they have those extraordinary gifts and so on and so forth. The other thing they always do, traditions, they talk about charades, so they do that all the time as well. And the interesting thing is that breakfast the following day is segregated by gender. So the men arrive at the dining room at 8:30 in the morning for the full English breakfast, but the women have to stay in their rooms. They get a continental breakfast around 9 a.m. Interesting tradition. But finally, the Christmas decorations stay up until February, and the reason for that is King George VI's death at Sandringham in 1952 when he was just 25 years old. So it's February the 6th that happens. But around the world, we got Spain. That's going to be at the Zayuzela Palace in Madrid, and the celebrations will carry on until January the 5th. I was looking at what's happening in Monaco. That's going to happen at the end of November. Prince Albert and Princess Charlene, they kicked off the festive season with a ceremony to illuminate the Place du Camp casino. And like every year, they will invite the rest of the family to celebrate in the heart of the princely palace. In Holland, possibly it's going to be at La Villa La Angostura in Argentina, where they might do that, and the Dutch royal family will be having a look at that sort of side. The Swedish royal family, my sources tell me, for Christmas Eve, King Carl, the 16th Gustav and Queen Sylvia will gather their family for dinner at their official residence, located in west of Stockholm. And the Danish royal family, there'll be basically King Frederick the X's summer residence outside the capital, where the family gathers every year for Christmas. You've got the Belgian royal family. Since December the 8th, a gigantic Christmas tree has been enthroned in the heart of the royal palace in Brussels, and they do look magnificent, those trees. And Sweden, you've got the Christmas Eve dinner, will be near Stockholm, as we say, and the Belgium side at the royal palace in Brussels, with the tree, as I say, up since December the 8th. All around the world, there will be royal revelries, and we will make sure that in 2026, we're going to bring them all exclusively to you, Gabriella.
And we cannot wait for that. Andrew Eborn, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
And a Merry Christmas to everybody watching. It's been an absolute delight joining you this year.
Merry Christmas to you too.